welcome to another episode of Cooking with Christina Fogel, and that's me. Today I'm going to make pâte à choux, which is French for cream puffs. I love cream puffs, and I hope you love them too. Pâte à choux. Pâte à choux? Pâte à choux. My Valentine loves cream puffs. I love cream puffs. I love them. I absolutely love cream puffs. Love them. Have a cream puff. Everybody have a cream puff. Puff for you, puff for you. First I'm going to make the pastry cream. My one recommendation when I make pastry cream or any kind of custard or even lime or lemon curd is I like to have all my ingredients and utensils ready to go because you're stirring non-stop and it's hard to reach for things. Here's a quick rundown of the ingredients we're going to need. There's 3 cups of whole milk, and that's divided, 1/2 cup sugar, 1/4 teaspoon salt, 2 teaspoons vanilla, 1/4 cup cornstarch, 1 tablespoon flour, 4 large egg yolks, and 4 tablespoons of butter. I cut that into small pieces. So off to the stove. Over medium heat, I'm going to stir 2.5 cups of the milk, the sugar, and the salt until that sugar dissolves. While the sugar is dissolving, I'm going to whisk together the cornstarch, flour, egg yolks, and the remaining 1/2 cup of milk. I'm just waiting for the milk to come to a simmer. The milk has come to a simmer. You can see the little bubbles on the edge. This is kind of a fun part. I'm going to add a little bit of the hot milk to the egg yolks and whisk it in. You want to do this just because otherwise you'll end up with scrambled eggs instead of custard. Now I'm going to add this mixture back into the hot milk. Whisk this constantly until it comes to a boil and thickens. Pastry cream is getting really thick. It's leaving tracks when I whisk it. It's almost at a boil here. Really close. Okay, we're boiling. That's done. So we're going to remove it from the heat and add our butter. We're going to strain this through a fine mesh. I'm going to stir in the butter and the vanilla. The butter's all melted, so that's ready to go. I'm going to cover this with plastic wrap and refrigerate for about 2 hours. I'm going to put the plastic directly on the surface because otherwise the skin will form on our custard. Alright, time for the fridge. So while the pastry cream is cooling in the fridge, I'm going to go ahead and make the cream puffs. I need 1/2 cup of butter, 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of water, and 4 eggs. I'm also going to make an egg wash, which is 1 egg and about a tablespoon of water, and I'm going to whisk those together. I like to use a large piping tip and a piping bag, but if you don't have either of these, you can just use a plastic bag and snip off the ends. That works. I like using a tip because you feel like you have a little bit more control, but you definitely don't need it. Alright, I like to use a metal pot because I'm going to use my mixer right in the pot. It's just one less dish I have to wash. And if you don't have a metal bowl like this, definitely you can use whatever you want on the stove and just transfer it to a mixing bowl when you get to that step. So off to the stove again. What I usually do is add the butter and start melting that over medium heat. Then I add my water and I'm going to bring this to a boil. Such simple ingredients and it makes something so wonderful. I'm going to raise the temperature up a little bit here, about medium-high, get this boiling. That's boiling, so I'm going to turn the heat back down to medium and stir in my flour. As a rule of thumb, I just kind of stir this for about a minute. It'll come together and form a ball. See how it's coming into a ball here? I'm going to turn the heat off and let this cool for 5 minutes before I add the eggs. I'm going to mix it right in this bowl, and again, if you don't have a metal pot, you could definitely put it into a mixing bowl at this point. I'm going to go ahead and add the eggs. I'm going to add 1 egg at a time and mix it just until it's mixed in. last egg. The dough's coming together, so that's done. I'm gonna make a quick egg wash. I'm gonna pipe the puffs. First I need to tack a little bit of the pastry down. Let's just hold this in place. Now I'm gonna go ahead and pipe the puffs. I don't like to make them too big because they're gonna expand in the oven. And usually what I do is I count to 3. I go 1, 2, 3 and lift up. Now what I like to do is I like to take the egg wash and I just touch the little tops. I don't do the whole thing, and I kind of use that to form them. So if they look a little bit funny, that'll put them right into place. Just kind of use that to shape them. And you don't want a lot. Just kind of making them behave. And this will give them a nice, pretty shine on top too. I'm going to bake this for 35 to 40 minutes at 400 degrees. I'm going to check them when they're kind of hollow and nice and puffy and golden, they're done. Oh, to the stove! So they're done and I let them cool a little bit. They're ready to be filled. Pastry cream. I'm going to pipe it in. I think I like to pipe things, but it seems easier to me if I just pipe it in. Just cut them right in half. Give it a good dollop. And a lot of times you can put the chocolate on the outside, but I find it to be kind of messy and they look kind of pretty with that little bit of egg wash on them. So I have some salted caramel and I'm going to put it right on the inside. I'm going to pipe that on too, just easier. Made this last night. That's a recipe for another day. They're really good just plain, but this is kind of special for Valentine's Day. So, a little dollop of salted caramel. Recently someone asked me where I learned to do some of these things that I make, and kind of thought about it a little bit. I think I've always loved to cook and bake, and I think one of the turning points was when I worked in a school district. I was 18 and there was 4 women in the business office that I think they were trying to outdo each other. They're always bringing in treats and awesome casseroles, and I was so impressed. I started asking them questions. I was always like, how do you do this? How do you do that? And I remember walking in and I'm like, how do you do a fish fry? What do I do? And they came back with 4 different recipes, and I still use those recipes to this day. I still have those. They're fantastic. And I don't know if it was like, stop asking us questions, but they gave me my first cookbook. And I still use this cookbook to this day. I think they're just being nice. I absolutely love that cookbook. And then I just like to sprinkle a little powdered sugar on top. And those are done. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to click to subscribe. The recipe's on the website. It's ChristinaPole.com. Oh, that's good. Alright. Well, that was worth it.